So we might be looking at something like $15 for the little DLCs and maybe $30, $25 maybe for the big DLCs. Of course, this won't happen in a big jump, right? We said in the last video, it's going to be boiling the frog. So every time there is a little bit of hype, they'll push the DLC price up by $1. Every time there's a little bit more hype, they'll push the DLC price up by another $1. And that way it will continuously push up the DLC price until you've been boiled by like a frog. Now,
and that was AdmiralPrice in 2021, May of 2021. So he called it just over 2 years ago. He said $25. And here we are in August of 2023. This comes out on the 31st of August 2023, so barely 2 years later, and it's going to cost 20 quid. 20 quid, $25. So he called it. He said exactly what was going to happen, and he said it 2 years ago. And remember, this is AdmiralPrice, who started out being a brown noser for Creative Assembly, absolutely sucking up to them, even being a bit backstabby towards me, and then after a while he gradually 180'd, and then he deleted almost everything on his channel and fucked off, just vanished. And this is one of the very few videos that he actually still has on his channel. So he eventually realised what so many of us had been saying all along, that things are going to just get worse and worse and worse. I've been saying the exact same thing. I even made a video saying Total War is going to be like FIFA and World of Tanks soon, and here we are, $25 DLCs, which I'm kind of surprised people are making such a big fuss out of this. There's an absolute shitstorm on the shithole subreddit, which is the biggest bootlicker hive on the whole internet. Completely contrived, fake discourse, totally controlled discourse, unnatural, totally inorganic, fake designed conversation on here within narrow permitted parameters, and even they're just spazzing right the fuck out. Let's take a look at this. 150% price increase. Yeah, there's some meta conversation going on about whether any of this will actually make it back to the CA staff. I not voted this one. Why does anyone even care about CA? They haven't made an innovative game in years. There are way too many other games and developers out there to buy their overpriced microtransaction-ridden, tired old rehash games. Yeah, exactly. This is what makes me kind of confused about this massive uproar. You're buying, alright, see if you're even eligible to get this DLC, you're even in the demographic that can actually use this DLC. You're someone that has bought the same damn game 3 times. Warhammer 1, Warhammer 2, Warhammer 3. You've been an absolute sucker and you've bought the same game 3 fucking times. If you're not here to get ripped off, you're in the wrong place. And then on top of that, you've subscribed to this disgusting model of buying these tiny incremental updates, which don't even add anything substantial. Long gone are the days of Yuri's Revenge for Red Alert 2, the Conqueror's expansion for Age of Empires 2, Shivering Isles for Oblivion, Knife of Dunwall for Dishonored, and there's even the Witcher DLC that was received well, and then you've got Fallout New Vegas Dead Money. These are worthwhile expansions, something that's actually worth buying. DLC for Total War hasn't been worth fuck all since Fall of the Samurai. Tiny little digital piles of incremental tat. It's not even like new possibilities are opened up. See, when I'm looking at these games, I look at them from two perspectives. First of all, there's the kid in me that wants to play games and have fun with them. Alright? And that was the approach I had until about 2007, 2008. And then after that, for the past 15 years, I've been thinking about games in terms of what can I do with this game to put it onto YouTube and make it actually worth watching. And Total War hasn't done a single thing that fits either category in over a decade. I think I'm going to get this for free. by virtue of having... Let's have a look at this. I've got... Alright, so this is Warhammer 3, right? Warhammer 3 is already in your Steam library, 0.3 hours on record. And then I'm going to go to... In library... No, in library, in library, in library, in library, in library. I have not played any of these. I could not give less of a shit. There's nothing I want to do with these. I got them for free. 207 quid or 190 quid worth of DLC that I can do nothing with. I couldn't even do anything with the DLCs for Three Kingdoms, and that was a game that I was actually playing. I didn't even care about the DLCs as they were coming out. It was the most pathetic thing ever. It's not like in this DLC here there's something new that I can do with it, that I can make into a video and upload to my channel and have it be actually interesting to watch. I don't consider there to be anything in that, because what is this going to add that this one didn't have? It's going to have a few different rebalances that have been done on the unit template, which is something that modders have been doing for Total War games for the past, 20 years, by the way. Medieval 1 has expansions. Oh, that's another thing. There was this really good game called Thief 2 that came out around 2000 that I played. It was my first ever immersive sim, and there are fan-made expansions for that game. Thief 2 Shadows of the Metal Age is an unofficial expansion pack to Thief 2 The Metal Age, consisting 13 missions and numerous cutscenes. 13 missions that fans have made. And then, of course, for Total War, the equivalent is Third Age with Medieval 2. See the Third Age mod for Medieval 2? It has way more than Warhammer 3 does with all of this tat. $25 for this, and what's it going to have? It's going to have nothing compared to what Third Age added on top of Medieval 2. And let's not forget that Medieval 2 has already had a complete Warhammer overhaul mod this entire time. More than one, I think. And people have been hailing it as superior to Warhammer this entire time. These Warhammer 1, 2, 3 games arguably need not even exist because there's a free mod for Medieval 2, a nearly 20-year-old game. It's just an absurd, embarrassing mess. It's just I just don't understand how there can be so much outrage. Obviously I don't object to the outrage, I just wish it was more principled and more substantial, which would involve accepting that for the past decade, Total War has just been pumping out annualized games that are not good games, and then they've been spamming DLC. Look at the state of this. Look at all of this. What the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. How can people still care? It's like the 20th time we've been through this and people are actually invested. Oh my god. Let's have a look now at some of this backlash. Legend of Total War, the DLC, even $25. So he's made a video on this. And he's pointing out all of these threads. What's crazy is Legend is actually not going nearly as hard on CA as Sotek. Oh my god, what? I saw some really butthurt threads. Let's try and find some of these that I'm remembering. The new DLC is worth €25 or dollars, same price as the Chaos Dwarfs and more than any other Lord pack. They're all fucking worthless though, this is the thing. This is what I mean. See, if you're going to just argue over this petty menial bullshit, you're going to just totally miss the point, which is that this is nowhere near worth it, even if it's fucking $10 or $5. This is worth nothing to me for the reasons I've already given. It's the same with Anno 1800. There was no way I was going to buy any of the DLC for Anno 1800. Could not give less of a shit. I'm not doing that. Same with City Skylines. I'm not spending $10 or $20 or $30 on something that adds 1% to what you can do in a game, at best. Because it's not like you can truly achieve any novelty or do anything fundamentally different when you're just using a different variation on what's already there. And I'm bringing up Anno 1800 to make a point. Anno 1800 is an actually good game, and I still was never going to buy any of that tat DLC. I was never going to do it. It doesn't even matter that the game itself is good and that it was incomplete in my Steam library. I'm not spending $10 on some new fucking buildings in that game. No way. And it doesn't even matter that I can easily afford it. It's about the principle. It doesn't matter how easily I can afford it and how much money I've got. I'm not spending $10 on a shitty fucking DLC. I reject this model. Fuck this. See, in the Conquerors expansion for Age of Empires 2, you could argue that there are some new tactics made possible by totally getting rid of cavalry and having some new infantry units. Like, it might actually change how the game plays and the tactics, but Total War has long given up on that, I think. Especially with something like Pharaoh, which is obviously just another Troy. We're not getting anything truly new. They're not actually trying to make anything really novel for players. Yuri's Revenge for Red Alert 2, it totally transformed how the game played when you went as Yuri in that expansion and relied on mind control and put units into grinders after you captured them. These DLCs for these Warhammer games are not introducing anything new. It's all about the aesthetics. They're never introducing new systems that affect the gameplay. It's all just shuffling the unit template and reskinning things and adding new voice lines. It's aesthetic bullshit that I don't care about. If it's $25, remember, this is what you get. And then they start listing LLs. Look at that. They've even got abbreviations for these things because they're so overplayed and hackneyed. And I hate this counting bullshit as well. Faction counting. I've complained about this in the past. This is fucking meaningless. Faction counting bullshit. Let's have a look at this one. I saw a butthurt comment here. The copium was on another level. See, you should pay you for shilling this hard. You know what's funny? Let's use your same strategy against you. You're paying double versus what you used to get. You're paying more than what people pay for GTA 5, one of the biggest games of all times. Yeah, exactly. We've got Baldur's Gate 3 coming out, and that is going to be, what, $50, $60? And then you've got this expansion pack shit, $25 for a minor reshuffling of the template, some reskinning, passive effects on their faction. What, plus 10% to this, minus 5% to that. This is meaningless, holy shit. 3 minutes worth of voice acting. This is what I'm talking about. Fuck's it, this is what you're actually paying for. Oh my god. Counting units. A game that has 500 units in it and you're counting 4 units. Holy shit, meaningless. Price increase, $9.99 to $24.99 for 50% more content. Oh, nauseating. Nauseating, holy shit. Absolutely nauseating. 174. Yeah, this is substantial critique. Look at this. This money can still get you Baldur's Gate 3 that has 174 hours of animated and voice acted cutscenes, 400 skills, a billion more 3D models. I'm telling you this comparison so you realise how much C is ripping you off. Exactly. It's about time people started talking about this stuff in this way. This is why people are so hopeful about games like Manor Lords, or the one that already came out, Nebulous Fleet Command. These are really tactical games with good gameplay, ostensibly, that are made by one guy on a shoestring budget, that are way more ambitious than any of this tat that CA puts out, and are made by one person and are cheaper than these shitty DLCs. Nebulous Fleet Command, that's gotta be like $10 or $20 at this point, and there's way more game there than you're getting from this company that has all of the economies of scale and infrastructure in place. It's such a bullshit argument about inflation and about the company has to be able to get its money back. It's such a load of bullshit. There's so much better that was possible even 20 or 25 years ago. There's no excuse anymore. Perfect time to bring that up. What is wrong with people that they're so scared of just playing new games? Why do you have to spend $500 on one game? What the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, man? And this is the problem with Warhammer that I've had all along. They are just leaning so hard into this consumer base that has no dignity. They're willing to spend $100 on a piece of plastic, and that's the entire business model. Total War is finished because of this. they've leaned so hard into these Warhammer consumers that Total War is doomed. This is the death throes of Total War. The fact that they've decided to dip into this really soft consumer base, it's doomed. Total War is absolutely doomed. And if you don't believe me, just look at how many sales Pharaoh has at this point. Just look at how far down it is on the top sellers. No one gives a shit about Pharaoh. No one. Absolutely no one. The only people that even pretend to give a shit about it are the shows that are dedicated shows. There's not a single bit of authentic desire to play Pharaoh whatsoever. None. And yeah, as I was saying, I'm glad to see this. 174 hours of animated voice and cutscenes. 400 skills. See, look at this counting. See, when you read something like this, you realise how pathetic this is. Who the hell actually counted how many units you got in Yuri's Revenge? Who the hell counted units in fucking expansions like 10 or 15 years ago? You got an expansion, it was either good or bad, simple as that. No one counted factions, counted units. What the fuck? This is just so nauseating. Oh my god. The fact that people even do this shit just shows how absolutely debased this is. This is so undignifying, counting factions, counting units. It's like they have no inherent value of their own. It's just about the quantity alone is all that matters. The volume of content. You know, you've got to have, it's like an IV drip of content going straight into your fucking arteries. It's just a sludge. It's like a constant flow of sludge over years. There's nothing about it that is dignified. The way, even the way people talk about this is absolutely nauseating to me. Fuck's sake. What happened to just thinking about the gameplay and whether the gameplay was good? Why are we counting fucking units, counting factions? Holy shit. Alright, let's find another thread. Because I saw so many threads. I don't like the price. I hate the lack of commitment to bug fixes. Yeah, that's another thing. People are still complaining all the time about Warhammer 3 being a buggy, broken mess with completely broken sieges. Just a buggy fucking mess. And also, I played one battle in Warhammer 3 and uploaded it to my second channel, and the AI was fucking dog shit. It was completely broken. The AI was worthless. I would never pay, even if I was someone that sat playing Warhammer 3 a lot, I would never buy any of the DLCs just because of how non-functional the AI is. It's so shitty. So shitty. And I've seen this before as well. So there's meant to be a sub-faction that can't recruit one of the most important units. So they're not even playing their own games. That's what this confirms. Still broken diplomacy. Outpost do not work at all. Yeah, it's funny. See, these things, they're going to be part of the unit counting that was conducted, and it's going to not even count because it can't even be recruited. This is the futility of this unit counting bullshit. They count units and they can't even use them. Fucking unit counting. Holy shit. Yeah, fuck. I've seen so much of this, people complaining that Warhammer 2 is better than Warhammer 3. They're all shit to me. I think they're all shit. But people that actually like Warhammer 2, which is saying a lot, even they admit Warhammer 3 is shit. So imagine how shit it really is, and they're selling DLC for it. Things we should get but are not getting for $25. No idea what the hell this is. You're out of your mind, CA. $25 for that content. It's half of the full game's price. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For a below average amount of content. For a DLC. Alright, so that's 3 contents we've had. Content. It's almost like it's a crutch word. That's $9 Warhammer 2 content sold for 3 times the price. See you in the next sale, maybe. People are saying they're still going to buy it, even though it's not even out yet. That's another thing as well. See all of these people that say it's not even out yet, how do you know it's shit? Doesn't that apply here as well? Because even though it's $25, what if it's actually good? See if it's actually good for once. Wouldn't that justify the $25 if this isn't just another one of the 20 shitty DLCs we've had so far. We've already had 19 of them, and they want another one. How shit did the first 19 have to be for them to still want more, you know? It's so pathetic, man. Like, 19 wasn't enough. I thought the leak was intentional to see what the reaction would be. I guess it wasn't. It wouldn't surprise me if they did leak this. I'm such a fantasy fan that I would have bought it no matter the price. Holy shit. And people wonder why they charge this. Total War is so fucked. It's so fucked, man. If they were regularly patching bugs from the base game in previous DLCs, I'd be tempted and dropping the money on that. They take months off to pop up with overpriced expansions and half-baked bug fixes. I shouldn't feel like I have to pay extra for them to release patches when I've already spent a few hundred on the product. 100% waiting for this to go on sale while I play my backlog. Yeah, see, people are still saying this. That's not been fixed. Isn't A.K.A. a DLC character? How the hell do they justify this? You're not supposed to care about old DLC. Yeah, this is the thing. It's so absurd. It's so absurd. See, if you were to just wait like 6 months or a year, wouldn't you either realise, 1, the DLC was shit, or 2, have it be discounted so you can buy it at a massive discount? And then let's look at the reviews to show the backlash. Look at that. We've got 73 negative to 18 positive, and then let's find no reviews for this yet. Nah, none for that yet. I'm gonna get that free, I think. That's what makes this funny. I'm talking about the cost of something that I'm gonna get for free, like I got this for free and never even played. Recent reviews. Oh, look at that. 50 negative, 3 positive. Let's have a look. Too expensive for a fraction of 3 lords who are almost the same. The new mechanics are the old ones from the other races. Holy shit, yeah, exactly. See what I mean? It's just shuffling on what's already there, offering different combinations of meaningless, menial garbage that has already existed for like 6 years, or even more than that if you talk in proper scope, which is in terms of all of these Total War games basically just being Rome 2 all over again. Another Rome 2 every year, and 10 DLCs for each one. Absolutely meaningless. Which is the perfect way to end this, I think. To talk about Total War properly in 2023, you have to accept that every Total War game for the past decade has pretty much just been Rome 2 with minor variation. They've been coming out one a year for the past decade, and each one has had 5 or 10 fucking DLCs for it, and each one all in costs like 150 quid or 200 quid. How much would it cost to just buy Rome 2 and everything that came with it at this point? 150 quid? How much would it cost to buy all of that Attila shit that I can't even name? 100 quid? And then Warhammer 1, Warhammer 2, Warhammer 3. To buy all of this garbage, it would probably cost, I think I saw it was like 200 quid to get all of this, maybe even more. And then for even Troy, let's have a look at Troy, see how much it costs to just buy all of this Troy garbage. Now, Three Kingdoms, that's a good example. Alright, 45 quid plus, oh, I got all this for free as well, I should say. 70 quid. So if you buy all of it, it's 70 quid. So it's quite discounted at this point. Still not worth it though. And then Troy is 60 quid for all of this tat. Fuck's sake. £20 to have it be properly a clone of Warhammer with magic spells and all that shit, and monsters, flying monsters. Oh my god. So yeah, we're just getting Rome 2 once a year, every year for the past 10 years. Loads of DLC that you have to spend, so it's like a subscription model almost at this point. And the price is going up and up and up faster than inflation. And only now, people are starting to realise that they've been getting ripped off and taking issue with it. Oh man, Total War is just fucked. It's hilarious though, it is entertaining, I've got to admit. I have no stake in this whatsoever. I won't be buying any of this no matter what, because I've resigned to not giving a shit about any Total War game to ever come out ever again. You have to be a moron to not have noticed by now the pattern of just getting a new Rome 2 every year, and I'm not interested in Rome 2, so I'm just here for the entertainment at this point. If you are a fan of my work and want to support me, then I have a Patreon just for that purpose. I do my best to give out perks, including monthly updates on what I am planning and what I'm thinking. Special thanks to Matteo Olivetti and SJ Mage.